Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tower Dive. I'm your host Dota. Joining me today is a whole slew of experts. We got Jackalacco, ADC for Conquer Academy, Rutledge's Beast Team Captain for Conquer Academy, AE Sobriquet, who is the support for AE, Gwaine ADC for Havoc, Lucius Best top laner for Havoc, and finally Dory K, the red-haired drunk that everyone loves. So let's hop into our first topic. All-Star voting has ended. So I want you guys to tell me two players from each division that you think are guaranteed to be chosen for that All-Star match, which is coming up this Sunday. We'll start off with you, Rutledge.
Uh, so I'm gonna go based off my team's voting because I have a spreadsheet here. So I'm kind of gonna steal Jocko can give more of a personal opinion. I'm just gonna give my team's unanimous decisions in a couple roles. So, and is this for two for Elder and Baron, or just two total?
Yes, sir. Two for
Okay.
each.
So we'll start with Elder. In Elder, I think two guaranteed players are going to be Nezumi, because he has been, I think, the best support in Elder pretty consistently. And crap, it's honestly pretty hard the rest of the way, but I'm going to go ahead and say Sievert makes it in as well. He's pretty likely. I know Fridge has had a couple good weeks lately, but I'm going to say Sievert probably ends up making it into that All-Star game. And for Baron, crap, this is another hard one. I think Phoenix will end up getting in the mid lane. I think our Carcion's pretty close, but I think Phoenix will probably get more votes just because where our team is placed currently. And then I'm going to say Gimpy gets in the jungle.
Yeah, okay. I definitely like the Gimpy pick. I concur with that 100%. You really think Nezumi's going to make it, though? Not because he's a bad player. I just feel like he hasn't really, I guess, played as many games for AOL, so he's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, but like when he does play, that's when AOL has been like undefeated. So like whenever he hasn't shown up is when they've lost, along with Sievert, which is why I kind of threw him in there. I think they're the two best players on AOL, and they're the two reasons why that team is at the top of the Elder division right now.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Sobriquet, your thoughts, please.
My two picks for the Baron would be Hero of Termina, just because for our team he's made a big difference. And I know in the community a lot of people like him just as a player, so I think he'd make it in off that. And I also think that the Carcion would make it for sure, just because like his role in the community as well. And also for Elder, I would think Big Play Jodway. I think he would make it, and also I play support.
You think Big Play Jodway over Sievert?
I think that they both make it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think Hero of Termina is a pretty easy choice for Baron. Honestly, I feel like that's a pretty slam dunk choice. So yeah, okay, Dory K.
All right. I originally read this as who do I want to be to be voted in. I thought Dazaran because he's like super underwhelming and his team holds him back. But another one, I don't want to admit Hero of Termina. I really don't want to say Hero of Termina. So for Baron, I'm gonna say actually Gawain because because you straight up turned around this team that seemed really rocky. Had the Smurf issues, just had issue after issue, was replaced by Le Primate Cycles, and just, I don't know, between you, Yeso, and then Razzle Frazzle's pathing, like, I feel like you shine on your team a lot, and it's really easy to vote for you for ADC. I think there's a good chance you get in over Hero of Termina, just because of his level of inconsistency when it comes to being on teams and where he's going to be. And, you know, he's old news, man. He's old news. As for the other Baron, I think it's hard to vote against, honestly, Gimpy. Like, I know Voslo and Father Conqueror and Razzle Frazzle have been there, but I feel like Gimpy is just consistently there. He's got a huge voice in the server. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, that guy Gimpy. He plays Vi a lot, right? Yeah. So I think Baron for Gimpy and Gawain. Elder Drake, it's hard to argue against Sievert. I'd say Sievert's like hands down the best top laner, so he's pretty much a shoe-in. And then for mid lane, I actually don't think any of the mid laners stick out a ton, not even my own. Kopak plays a role and he just chills. But Glutes Games pretty much keeps Lobster Gang in third place, and he's a ton of the reason why they're there. I voted for him. Most of our team voted for him, and I hope everyone else votes for him for our side of the league.
Okay. Yeah, no, 100% I agree. I think a lot of people try to guess who will make All-Stars based on just straight skill, but you also got to remember, like, a lot of people that are commenting in the Discord, getting the memes rolling, a lot of those people just, stick out in people's minds and they receive a lot of votes. I mean, look at Fridge Season 2. I love you, Fridge.
Season 3.
I'm sorry, Fridge. I love you, but I don't think you're the best top laner in Season 2, but I'll be damned if he didn't win. So, yeah, I mean, you gotta live up to the memes also, but thoughts, Queen?
Kind of similar to what everybody else is saying. I'm not going to vote for myself here. So I said for Baron, Hero, and Rutledge. I think that Rutledge has stood out in the top lane, and Hero is just like Hero. I think everybody from last season saw how good he was, and I think he's continued that on a few different teams throughout the season again. So I expect people to vote for him. I expect people to vote for Rutledge, though there hasn't been a lot of typing in chat as much as there was last season. So I don't think that that's going to have as big of an impact this time. And for Elder, I had Sivert and then either Nezumi or a big play Jodway. I don't know how to. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I pick a lot of top laners. I think that they're on the opposite side of the map, so I can't shut them down. So I am impressed by how they're able to take their advantage elsewhere. So because of that, I think that those two are probably going to be up there too.
So I noticed you said you wouldn't vote for yourself here. Does that mean in All-Star votes you did?
I think a lot of people voted for themselves. What are you talking about?
Okay, I mean, I just wanted you to hear. Yeah.
No, actually, JC copy pasted his vote, so
Okay.
I didn't get him in time.
It's fine if you're ballot stuffing. Ain't no worries. It's cool. Jocko, please.
Aren't you the one that could ballot stuff?
Dota's fixing the standings.
Dota fixes everything, dude.
I think
Bob the Builder.
the top lane is going to be the battle of the Titans. I think we're going to have Sievert and Rutledge against each other. They're the two best performing on each side, in my opinion. And then as you go down the list, I also think Nezumi is going to be the support. I think he's the most consistent support player on the Elder Division. And for Baron Division, the other pick I'd have is Gimpy. I think he stands out the most out of most of the junglers there. So I think it's a pretty sure pick for that one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you don't see any like crazy things happening, like a meme pick. You have a meme pick maybe, like the dark horse, if you want to say.
Hi there.
All right. Lucius, your thoughts?
Yep, I got some crazy things to say here. You already know me. I'm everywhere.
Of course. Let's hear your off the wall answer.
Alright, so I definitely think Killjoy gonna take it down for the Elder Division.
What?
Yeah, I gotta say.
All
My
right.
team, everyone thinks Killjoy's really good. So I think Killjoy's gonna be number one in the Elder Division for ADC. And mid laner, we gotta give it to Ooey Gooey. Formerly known as Sorrow, but we gotta give it to Ooey Gooey out here.
In what
And for
role?
in the mid lane.
Okay.
Definitely in mid lane.
Okay.
I think AOL just has a good solid, lineup in general. So they probably have a lot of like top 3 players probably in the All-Stars. For the Baron Division though, I kinda gave Rubble Senpai over Rutledge in that top lane because he was just playing good. This whole what was it for the past 4 weeks? So I just gave it to Rumble Senpai for real. And for the mid lane though, I gave it to Spartan. Because he up there in the top kills per game. No, not even top most kills. He's second. Yeah, he's second. He has 17, which is over Ooey Gooey and Arcacia in the mid lane. So he up there getting kills, and no one noticed this. But that's why I give it to Spartan. He's my first choice. And that's why I gotta go.
So you
I'm looking at the stats.
Spartan and Killjoy are your All-Stars.
Yeah.
Whew, lad. All right. No one on the panel.
The upset.
No one on the panel thinks this is wild. Everyone's okay with this.
I think he's just going who he hopes to be up there. I don't know if he's guaranteeing these people to be up there.
Yeah, I think he's just going off delusion. I'm not really sure.
Wow, gotta insult a top player like that.
Yeah, I don't know how you could pick somebody on Frosty. To be honest,
don't be
Wow, toxic.
I'm not trying to talk. It's just they're not very good, dude.
You talking about
Toxic. Oh my gosh.
Not very good. They
Dota-
took us to 40
Ban
minutes.
this guy.
Oh,
I mean,
Damn,
we built a comp that was meant to go to 40 minutes though.
Damn, Rutledge, don't be like that. You know I got love for you too, but Rumble Senpai was doing work.
I mean, I'll admit the Rumble Senpai. I do think Rutledge is quite a bit better, but I think that one's not a crazy pick. That's why I didn't mention that one. That's why I mentioned the Killjoy and Spartan.
I don't think Killjoy is completely outlandish. I actually have
Yeah,
a
I
number
agree.
2. I think 80 carry and Elder is actually just really weak. No
Not
flame
wrong. Not
intended.
wrong. Yeah.
All right, I agree with that one.
But the Spartan pick, and was that in Baron?
Yeah, that's on Havoc.
Yeah, that one's a little delusional too.
I think y'all just
All
misread it.
right,
You should have some good games.
I would
Misreading the
say see you
meta.
in semis, but you're not going to be there.
I think if Oren didn't have such an underwhelming first half of the season in mid and then switching to ADC, he'd be up there. But I mean, he's been the focal point of ESG towards the end of the season and kind of been the main producer of wins for us coming up to the end.
Yeah,
of the season.
I gave my actual number 1 spot to Orin Blade,
Yeah.
but that's just because I think he's mechanically the best player in Elder, and I think ESG's looked a lot better lately. But Killjoy's just had a better overall season because, like you said, he kind of Orin Blade switched. But I still
Yeah,
give it to
definitely
Orin, or I gave it to Orin Blade just because I think he is just better, and that's why I did my rankings off as who I thought would, if you put the top player in each of these roles together, that's like would be the best team from that division. So like that's what I was basing mine off of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I concur though. I think the Iron Blade thing. He looked really good in the mid lane first couple weeks, then he went bot lane, looked really bad for a while, but now he's looking good again. But people remember the bad, so I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, he got lucky 1 week or two. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are just kind of like, dismissive of a couple successes because that the feeding sticks out in the mind. But either way, I'll give my thoughts. So for Elder, I know I'm taking the easy way out. I'm gonna have to give it to Sievert and Sonic Abs. I've been saying it for a few weeks. I feel like Sonic Abs gets like little to no love in the jungle. Like people are like, oh yeah, Sonic Abs, yeah, he's jungler, yeah. He J4 one trick, which true. I'll admit he plays a lot of J4, but I mean, in my mind, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're playing J4, you're setting up plays, you're getting off your early ganks, you're the engage your team needs, you snowball your top lane, you snowball your mid lane or bot lane, which we saw recently when AOL played OC Nation. If it works, play it. Like if no one's gonna ban your champion that you're one tricking and stomping games on, I would do the same. If I played Ezreal every game and stomped, I'm just gonna keep picking it till I either stop stomping or it gets banned. So that would have to be my 2 picks. Sievert, I don't think I need an explanation on why I chose him. The man's just bodying people. For Baron, again, pretty cop out here. Rutledge's beast. I feel like again, it's just, come on. Do I have to explain myself? The guy's been bodying people since day 1, week 1. Just you have to throw at least a couple bans his way. People camp Rutledge's lane. He still either goes even, sometimes gets the 2v1 kill outplay. It's just super easy. Do the thing. And then I guess Hero of Termina, honestly, would be my other choice. I feel like a lot of people remember him from last season. He's kind of been the focal point of a few memes, like, Team Jumper, Team Hopper, which team's he going to this week? So he's got the meme game going, and then he's putting up disgusting numbers every week after week, CS high per minute, great KDAs. Just, I mean, what else do you want? Those are just slam dunk picks in my mind. And I want to say our Carcion would be a great mid lane choice, but I feel like the meme game's not on point. People don't remember him as much. So I think he might not make it. So that's why I did not choose him, but in my mind, I think he's the best mid laner.
Does the mental breakdown not count? As a meme?
If that would have been like a week or two ago, I think so, but it was so many weeks ago. People have goldfish memories, so no one remembers that now. Well, at least when it came time to voting. But let's go on to our next topic. Let's get the show on the road. Playoffs are starting soon. So who's your underdog pick? Let's try to go for one from each division. And what do you think they can do to win the tournament? What's their win condition to take them from where they are right now to winning the finals? We'll start with Lucius Best. We'll go from the bottom up.
Oh man, we in playoffs already? Damn.
Mhm.
Feels like the season just started for me, but hey, we don't even get into that. For playoffs though. This is a hard one. Obviously underdog picks. it's gonna be Havoc for me. You know, just because I'm on the team. But we made that hard climb up. Like, does anybody remember like what we was doing out there? Like, we was like what? I think it was like 2-7. But anyway, back to this. I think Havoc's gonna be the underdog pick. I'm gonna say we're probably a shoo-in for maybe second place. I think we're gonna go to the semis. I'm pretty confident we're gonna go to the semis.
Getting second means we get to finals and lose.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? That's what second means? Oh, then we're going to the finals. We're going straight finals. Yeah, I
There you
believe
go.
all the way.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, who do you think you're gonna face off in finals?
In the Elder Division, like, AOL.
Okay. What
Confident to be AOL.
what do you think the win condition for Havoc is? What you guys need to do to stomp your way all the way to finals?
It's basically on what we not need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like most people who played against Havoc know like how strong we are and what lane we are mostly too. Sure, I'm gonna give it to Gawain. He's in a spotlight most of the time, but people don't know like the support behind it because like we make Gawain Furry look like the best player he is. He is probably the best ADC in the league, and y'all sleeping on him. But they don't know what the true secret behind this team is right now.
Okay.
So I ain't gonna give out a lot of spoilers.
Of course.
Hey,
You
no,
know what I'm
no spoiling, no
No,
spoiling.
no spoilers. You know what I'm saying? But there's a whole lot of secret going on in this team, and they watch the games. They're gonna know what really is going on. But like I said, Havoc snuck up on it, and people thought that he was last place. Next to me in playoffs,
I mean,
knocking out Frosty. You know, love for Frosty. But it's got to be one person in fourth right now. Next thing you know, we're gonna be in finals.
I'll admit, a couple weeks ago, I think you guys were pretty dead in the water. What, about 3 weeks ago? It was just like, all right, yeah, Havoc's out, move on. But you guys definitely been fighting. You won a lot of your remakes, which obviously proved very useful because here you are. So I want to make sure it's on the record. Lucius Best, top lane for Havoc. Havoc's going to be in finals.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
All right, excellent. I love it.
Who invited this guy?
Hey, man, this
He's
guy.
delusional at all. His thoughts.
Hey, man.
You gotta get through Conquer to do that. you might want to step down there, bud.
Rutledge.
All right. If you say so, Rutledge, don't be a little mad, bro. Don't be a little mad.
All right. I mean, you guys probably will play in quarters because I'm assuming I think Havoc is fourth unless some crazy shenanigans happen, and then Conquer is
Aether has to
pretty
lose
solid.
both of them in order for us to face them in a tiebreaker. So I can almost guarantee that we are in fourth.
Yeah.
So we'll face Conqueror first.
Okay. So
Oh, we were supposed to throw our games and rename the wrong script.
Oh, I mean, I can pay you. How much you want?
oh, please, no, please.
All right, sorry. We'll talk later.
Get out of here. All right, so there we go. We'll see you quarters in a couple weeks. We'll see how you guys do. All right, we'll go to you though, Jocko. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so on Baron's side, this is the one with the upset, I would say, was Havoc. They do have to get through Conqueror to make it to the finals, though. And I that's the hard part about it. I can see them beating the other two teams, but I think Conqueror is going to be the hardest one for them to beat. And if they can get past Conqueror, that's their chance to shine. Elder Division, I don't think it's so clear. AOL and OC on the top have been so strong, and it's kind of hard to pick the underdog in that setting. So I'm going to have to give it to OC on that side. I don't think they're going to lose it. But on Baron, I think Havoc is the underdog pick.
Okay, what do you think Havoc need to do to make it to
Protect
finals?
the bot lane, definitely. I think it's around Gawain. I think they need to play around him. He's been doing so hot for them in the last couple weeks, so I think that's the win condition.
Okay, yeah, nah, I like it. Good analysis. I like it. Gawain, your thoughts, Mr. Protect the Bot Lane?
I mean, I got my Kog'Maw pick prepared, but I do think that Havoc will be the one to make it to finals. Our team has evolved, especially over the past week with this current iteration. We went 7-1 with how it was working out now with Lucius in the top lane, and the only loss that we had was against Aether in a super drawn-out game that I inted in by walking into the Baron Pixel Bush. So if we didn't do that, the game was basically under lock by us. And I would say that in the game that we played against Conqueror, the mistakes that we made there, allowing them to get the lead and like how they converted that and all that stuff, I think that I've gotten better. I think the team gotten better. I don't think that we're playing like 5 different people. And so I think part of that is that we're going to be able to beat them back in several different lanes. And so because of that, I do think that we can beat Conqueror. And like Jockler just said, if we do beat Conqueror, I think we're going to be able to beat everybody else going into finals. and I probably would expect AOL to be there unless OC Nation beat them. And I hope that's how it's going to turn out.
Okay. Dory K, please.
Well, Sober K is probably gonna say AE. Go away.
That's wrong.
No? Oh my god. Thank you. In that case, nah, I'm still gonna go with it. Since the only team I really know like underdog wise besides Havoc, and you've already talked about it 2-3 times now, I'm probably just gonna have to go with my own team. What does ESG have to do to win? Well, they're against AOL. They didn't have Nezumi when we beat them in a best of one game. I know Bludit knows how to adapt draft. He's pretty good. They've got on and off coaches. They're okay at draft, all memey as they seem and carefree as they seem. They practice a lot. But so far, we've played really well around our bot river control and bot jungle control. And every time that we get Orin an advantage and we're able to rotate bot lane to mid, Rupture's able to take over the game. His vision control is really good. So a lot of it is just ESG being able to secure those early lead advantages. Showed against OC Nation if we're against them, if we get third, and it showed against AOL. AOL's good, they're consistent, but they don't really like push for those early game leads. They just kind of let mid game happen and blow up. So if ESG can just pressure, they can take the game. They can go all the way to the finals.
Okay. Yeah. Sober K, please.
My pick for underdogs would have to be ESG from Elder and then Havoc from Baron. I believe that both these teams can win when they're playing their best, and I think they can win against the first place teams. To go in a little bit more depth, I don't think, like, for example, Fridge, I don't think, even if he doesn't win lane, and I think it's a coin flip if he'll, go even or lose, and I think their jungler isn't that bad, and Kobek, I think he can win lane if he really puts his mind to it, and the same for the bot lane. I think they can win if they try to. And for Havoc, I think that Lucius, he can dogfight up top lane, maybe even beat Rutledge. And I think that Razzle Frazzle has the mechanics of a good jungler, and I haven't seen him play too much, but I also think that, maybe he has some get outs backing up too. And, the rest of the team looks spot on too. So I think that Havoc isn't that far off from being that bad. And the only reason I didn't pick my team for being underdogs is that I'd have to believe my team would be an underdog to pick myself.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm not really thinking you're too much of underdogs right now, based on recent performances. But Mr. Beast, your thoughts?
Gosh, here's some of these guys' predictions. This makes me hurt inside, but because I don't think Conqueror's going to lose in a best of 3 format to anyone. But I'm going to go ahead and take Naughty Nips as my underdog in Baron, mainly because I think they will be the underdog, at least even if it's not by record or seeding, just by kind of public opinion, they will be underdog going into that game. So I think that they still I think they could definitely pull that series out from AE, especially if they can adapt to playing against Hero, because I really think he's the end all be all on that team, because I think Art is a one trick rise, and that's pretty much all AE has besides Hero. So yeah, I think they could still pull out that series. I think they're still going to lose the next round, but I'm going to go with whoever I think is going to win the other series, since that's the only one I think has a chance of really having any volatility. Then an Elder side. Crap. Yeah, I'm going to say ESG. I just think they've looked the best out of all, like, what we're considering underdogs. I think AOL is the only team that's like that I don't see losing, but I think ESG can upset them, especially obviously if AOL's full roster does not set up. They actually got pretty handily beat without AOL's full roster, and with AOL's full roster kind of being MIA, and it seems like in a lot of games, I'm not going to put it past them to even have somebody missing for that series. So, and ESG's also been getting some good practice against Conqueror and allowing them to kind of hopefully learn and adapt at playing from behind. which if they can do that against AOL and allow Orin Blade and Fridge and some of these other players that actually have pretty good mechanical skill to be put in a position to just win one team fight and take a game in the series, then I think they can totally do that, especially if they keep practicing. They seem like they're definitely on the grind to try to prepare for playoffs.
Yeah, no, I like the answers. I would have to concur with the ESG pick for underdogs. I do think ESG have looked really, really good as of late. For me, I guess my ideal scenario it seems like since the addition of their coach, what's his name? Ozzy? Dory? What's your coach's name?
Yeah, he's FSG Aussie.
FSG Ozzy, yes. I think with the addition of him, ESG have been looking a lot better. I'm not sure if it's maybe the drafts, maybe they're just a little team coordination is a bit better, more practice time. Not sure what he's doing to them, but it seems to be working. They're looking good. So in my mind, the way ESG wins Elder Division is to snag third place so they can avoid all one lane. They can get an extra week of watching AOL play, watching them play in a best of 3. With that extra week, give him time to prepare a good pick ban because, again, I think his pick bans have been pretty good. So with that extra time, I think ESG can prepare and then have a good chance of beating all one lane. Do I still think they'll beat all one lane? Not really. I just feel like all one lane are just disgusting. But I think that is the way to do it. To make sure they empower Kopech, empower All-Around Blade to carry. Meanwhile, make sure their support of Imposter, I believe, just kind of does his job protecting the bot lane, trying to get the 2v2s going because they've looked decent in the 2v2s recently. So if they can win the 2v2 mid lane, Kopech does very, very well, I think. And then Fridge, just same thing as always. Just don't die, Fridge. Farm, stay alive, don't die, try not to give up tower. And then team fight comes, Fridge do the engage. I'm not trying to flame him, I'm just saying we know Fridge is not the carry. Yeah, Fridge is not the carry. You don't need Fridge to win lane. You need Fridge to not lose lane. And I think that is ESG's win condition. Will that happen against Sievert? Who, lad? That's a tall order.
Go bot lane at level 6, Fridge. That's about it.
Yeah. So, can he win lane against Sievert? Absolutely not. Can he not lose lane against Sievert? Maybe. But I think that's the win condition. Then for Baron Division, I really like the pick of 9nips because I feel like in the court of public opinion right now, everyone has just forgot about 9nips. They went from the number 1 team, they lost a few players, had to revamp the roster, and people just forget. But, I mean, they still have a Carcion, who I think is the best mid laner in Baron, for surezies. They have Voslo, who's a pretty good jungler. Tangelo, I didn't think looked that great on Frosty, I'll admit, but since he's moved to 9nips, I think he looks a lot better. I'm not sure if maybe there's a shot calling issues on Frosty, if Frosty wasn't practicing enough. I'm not sure what changed, but I think he does look better. Tater Tots, I think, has been looking better and better ever since week 1. Even when she was on Frosty, she was getting a little bit better. Now she looks pretty good. And then Hayes, I think, is a monster support. Do I think they can beat Conqueror? Not really. No, I don't. But I think they have the chance, and they have the skill set to do so. They just need good drafts, good teamwork, and that would be my 2 underdog picks. So, let's go ahead and get into our final topic. Wrap this up. Last week of regular season, as per usual, who's the hot match? Who's going to win it? We'll start with you, Rutledge.
The only match I see being really interesting, and especially because it kind of has a little bit of seeding, like it matters for seeding, in the Baron division is Aether versus non-adepts. I kind of expect Aether to win, and I kind of expect them, honestly, to possibly steal the 2. I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, obviously, it's just like who gets to pick blue side or whatever our rules are for seeding. But I think Aether could possibly steal the 2 seed from them just to kind of go in as as the better seeded team and make Naughty Nips the official underdog. I think that's going to be a good game, but the rest I kind of see going as most people would expect. So I'm going to go with the Aether Naughty Nips game.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Sober K.
Let's say Aether does lose the Naughty Nips game, and then Conqueror has to play Naughty Nips later that week. that would mean if Nottingham's wins versus Conqueror, I believe that the seeds are switched for that too as well, if I did my math right, but I could be completely wrong with that. Then Nottingham would be the 1 seed, and then Conqueror would have to play versus us first. And I think that
Your math is a little bit off. If they do lose to you, or if they beat you guys and then beat us, then they have to play us for a tiebreaker for first.
Correct.
All right, so you'd have to play a tiebreaker. But ignoring the tiebreaker, I think that Conqueror versus Nottingham could be the biggest game this week if we lose.
Yeah, no, I concur. I definitely think it's a good choice because right now they're the number 1, number 2 seed, and again, it just kind of shows a lot for what's going to happen in playoffs. Is Conqueror super dominant? Can Nine Nips keep up? Or Nine Nips done for, and they're just going to lose in quarters? So yeah, I definitely think it has some big implications for definitely playoffs. Corey.
I actually think that please bear with me. I think skill cap and enigmatic gaming will actually be. No, I'm not memeing. I swear. I think the game's going to be really fun. These teams have both seemed kind of stressed by the fact that they've been losing. They've been playing very silly, I guess, and they seem to just tilt off of one mistake in a game. And I think it'll be nice to see them with like no holds barred, nothing on the line. They both know they're not in playoffs. They're just going to go at it and go for an all-out slugfest. And I just want to see Shuno go off again. I've seen Shuno pop off before, and he just hasn't gotten to do it really much this season. So I'm just excited to see them play again and just have a fun game to end out the season.
Shuno, is that the Tristana one-trick guy?
What
Yes.
you mean?
Oh,
What
okay.
you mean? Lucian? Stop batting as Lucian, man.
Go ahead, your thoughts.
For me, there's not gonna. I wouldn't expect any big switches in the standings. I think Week 9 kind of locked everything in. So, I guess Lobster Gaming playing people would be one area that there could be any switch ups in the standings, but I doubt that'll happen. And the other would be the Aether versus NN match. Just because I think that game will be pretty important because they will face each other, I would say, in playoffs. So it's like a teaser for playoffs there. And I would think that Aether wins if Hero doesn't get shut down. And the current iteration, kind of like what people are saying, I don't view Naughty Nips as strong as they used to be. So I'm going to give it to Aether. I don't think that Aether is going to be able to climb to Naughty Nips, or that Naughty Nips is going to be able to... I do think that Aether is going to be able to climb to Naughty Nips. I don't think Naughty Nips is going to be able to climb to Conqueror. But that just means that no matter what, Aether versus NN will happen in playoffs. Even if they play the game this week, the tiebreaker, they'll still play in playoffs. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, Jocko.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Aether Naughty Nips game as well. I don't think too much because it has any seeding advantage. They're gonna play probably against each other. It's almost guaranteed at this point. But because it's gonna be a little bit of a sneak peek, like he was saying, to what's gonna happen in the playoffs. Naughty Nips with the new roster, we haven't really seen them play too many games, or against somebody like really, really, really good. So I think AE is gonna show a good performance with NN, and we're gonna be able to see what this playoff run's gonna be like.
Okay. All right. So, question for you and Gwen, since you both chose the AE Naughty Nips game, is Aether and or Nine Nips maybe going to, I don't want to say do troll picks, but pick some less than their best pick ban phase, just to kind of maybe save something for playoffs, because you play these guys basically in 6 days after this match, 7 days. So, do you try to save stuff, or do you just try to go all out, try to win, hope for the miracle pass to get that first seed?
Do you mind if I answer?
Yeah, whoever, I guess. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely possible. We definitely know we have some trolls on each team, and talking to Voslo and Leslo. But I don't think they will, because it actually would be really nice for Aether if they could win that game, and win both their games, and then have Naughty Nips lose both, because then they would take that 2 seed away, which would give them the ability to pick side in the first game and in a best of 3 series, which I think is actually pretty big, especially if they plan on that series being close. Now, if they just don't care, they really just are going to show up and expect to be able to win, then whatever. But if they wanted a slight advantage by possibly being able to pick side, because I believe that's how it works, correct, Dota?
Yeah, higher seed gets pick.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they'll want that advantage. So I'm assuming that they'll go all out. But who knows? I mean, like I said, they both have people on there that I can't tell what the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I kind of agree with that. The only reason why they would is because if they wanted to pick sides, but if they think that they're just going to beat Naughty Nips anyway, then Aether could troll. I don't think Naughty Nips will. It might just be Voslo playing something a little less meta.
No Bard
Where's
mid
that
again.
Bard jungle?
No
No,
Bard.
Bard jungle.
I was
It'll
gonna
work
say
better,
if
I
it was up
promise.
to me picking if we're gonna be serious or not, I think A would be serious.
Yeah, that's a hot tamale right there.
Okay. All right, Lucius, what's your pick for the match for the week? Let's hear your crazy theory.
Oh man, here we go again. We talking about. I'm gonna give it a Conqueror, not Nips, because they up there in the top standings. I want to see if Conqueror is still on top form coming into playoffs. No shade to them. Just saying, like, let's see if you top dog out here. Nothing personal. And I want to see what's up with 90 Nips. After the loss of GVG, I want to see if they still number 2. If not, I'm gonna give AE number 2 in Baron division right now. But that's just what I want to see between Conqueror and 90 Nips. That's my game of the week.
Yeah, no, I think it's a solid choice. So I guess for me, honestly, I kind of want to pick the OC Nation Lobster just because right now Lobster really want that 3rd seed because, like I said, I think everyone wants to evade all one lane in the quarterfinals, but someone has to play them. That's just the luck of the system. So, and right now, Lobster have to also remake their match against Dota's Demons because of Mr. Rat LOL, excuse me. So they have 2 games, Lobster. They play Dota's Demons and OC Nation. Should they beat Dota's Demons? Yes, I think they're the better team. But they could lose that, and they could lose to OC Nation, which would then put ESG and LG tied. They would play a tiebreaker to see who gets that 3rd spot. And I think the 3rd spot is very, very important because Lobster and OC Nation are going to play Thursday, and so then they might have to play again, or if they lose both their games and lose the tiebreaker, then ESG would get to play OC Nation, and then LG would have to go against All One Lane, which I don't think that's going to be a very fun match for them, just because Lobster looked pretty inconsistently lately, their ADC problems, and the Smurf problems, so definitely want to try to avoid that as long as you can. Try to practice as much as you can. Do your pick ban comp. Watch the best of 3 that All One Lane play against another team in quarters and try to get that over with. So that's my match of the week just because I think very, very important to get the 3rd seed. So that's all the topics we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which I'm assuming you're watching this on right now. Come check out our Twitch TV/Duo Esports. We stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, Sunday at 2 p.m. We have our last week of matches, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to have a special event, the All-Star Match, so you guys can see the top players voted in from our coaches, from our players, their peers. And we're going to have a great time Sunday. Come check us out. Should be a great time. And we'll see you guys next week.